Hey guys, this is Invisible Pain. My name is Tim Tilley. Tonight I'm gonna keep going on the video that I might just have made one video about being a true friend. I've got one more thing I want to talk to you about friendship. Growing up, I mean, even my young age, I've had some great jobs, some high paying jobs. One of my first jobs I got to travel the country in is I worked for North American Van Lines. I was a moving agent. I got to move people all over the world. I got to see a lot of things I'd never seen before. I got to meet a lot of people. One of the guys that was actually drove the tractor and trailer, his name was Steve. Well, me and him became really, really good friends. And Steve was the type guy that he was hardcore, boy. I mean, he could read you a book. And he was just an old country boy, redneck, and if he had on his mind, he was gonna say it. Didn't give a damn who liked it. He was a dude's dude. And me and him kind of hit it off right from a get. And this dude this dude would drink every day. He'd drink a case of beer a day. I'm not kidding. He could drink a case of beer and a fifth of liquor and be at work 7, 8 o'clock in the morning ready to go to work. Yeah, and he might smell like alcohol, but this dude might have a hangover. But this dude's going to work as hard as you did every day. And so, I mean, I know this dude probably 20 years. And after there come a time in my life that job, I had maxed out where I was at, and I wasn't growing. I was at my top ladder when it come to money, and I was getting older, and I decided, you know what, I've got kids. I need to be making more money. I want a better job. So I started looking, and it's a scary thing when you start trying to better yourself. You really don't know if you can or not, but you have to make a decision and go on. But I did, and got a really, really good job. And me and Steve sometimes friendships, it's not that you stop being friends, but sometimes, you're friends from a distance. And if I seen him at the store 3 years down the road, it was one of them things like you hadn't missed a minute. Y'all gonna pick up right where you left off, and you're still dudes. And so I hadn't seen Steve in a long, long time. And one day I was going to the racetrack and been gone all day long. And I come home, and my wife said, "You won't never guess who called today." And I said, "Who?" She said, "Steve called." I said, "Steve?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "What's he doing?" She said, "Well, he's dying, and he really needs to talk to you." And I said, "All right, I'll call him tomorrow, whatever." I was tired when I come in, and I'll call him tomorrow. And at that moment in my life, I'd made a lot of bad choices in my younger adult life, and really trying to start seeking God's face and straightening my life out to not just be a better person, but to be a better husband, be a better father. I've got 5 boys and 2 girls, wife of 31 years, been together like 34-ish. And I had to be a better person. So I got really involved in church. I started going to prisons, homeless shelters, different churches, kind of preaching through using my testimony of things that I'd seen in my life. And I went through things in my life that I know absolutely is going to help some of you get through your struggles. And anybody ever got any questions over here, reach out. I mean, that's what this whole thing's for. Because I really think that the knowledge that I have, I can help people through just about anything. Because I've seen and been around more stuff than you can imagine. I'm gonna be telling some stories they'll make the hair on the back of your head stand up. I mean, that's some really some stuff that's crazy. But anyway, so Steve had found out that I'd made a big change because I was a partier, buddy. I mean, I got down. And he found out that something changed me. And he knew that he was on his last row. And he really, I think, at that moment in his life, because Steve wasn't really a God-fearing man, if that's what you'd say. He was a good dude and straightforward dude and a good daddy. He was single. Him and his wife had split up, but he was a good daddy to his girl. But he didn't involve the church thing too much. Well, right there when he got to bad news, when you get bad news in your life, it makes the mind and the body start questioning, thinking, and seeking. Seeking, probably a better word. He started seeking God's face, and I think he was, at that moment, I really think that he was wanting to talk to me about the Lord. And I think he was wanting me to maybe lead him in a sinner's prayer or something. I'm not really sure. That's what I'm thinking. And anyway, the next day I got up and went to a race shop, and I forgot to call him. So by the time I got home late that night, and then it was done too late, I put it off. That's not because I didn't want to talk to the guy. It was just I had so much going on, and at that moment in my life, I didn't understand what it meant to stop and call your friends when they call you. Because you only have a few friends in this life, true friends, that would go to bat for you or be there for you. If you really want to see how much somebody cares about you, talk's cheap, especially when somebody walks up and puts their arm around your shoulder at church or wherever you're at on the street and says, "Oh, I'm going to pray for you," and then when they walk off, they forget about you. If you really want to see how much people care about you, and if you're in a financial burden in your life, and you really want to see if people really care about you, tell them that you need help paying your power bill and see how many people hang around then. They gone. So sometimes people just think this their problem. They made the wrong choice, and we all make wrong choices. I mean, God Almighty, I've had to hustle my whole life, especially with 7 kids and working 70, 80 hours a freaking week. I've had to hustle my whole life to make ends meet. And that's life. But the thing about it is Steve ended up dying before I could even have, realized that I need to call this man and make sure everything's good. And he died. And I've had to live with that the rest of my life. I swore to myself that I'd never, ever do that again. So when somebody calls on you and it's your friend, I don't care if it's a childhood friend, they're still your friends. That's some of my best memories of my childhood buddies. And I never get to see any of those dudes no more. They've, some of them's moved off, some of them's died, some of them's been murdered, some of them's, I've had friends that's been killed on death row. So whatever your friend is, whoever your friend is, man, woman, boy, girl, whatever they call themselves, then you take the time and let people know that somebody loves them, because I promise you, some things are life and death. This is Invisible Pain. Like, share, comment, and help us get the word out. Thank you, guys.